Going to have to play so safe with this third shot, Will Fowler. You have to go right out of the hole. He takes a chance of going over that ridge. It's going.
Rahm has 249 to the hole.
Saw the shot at Fowler at the 10th. How coming out of that light rough with still the dew on the ground, lost it to the right, squirted off to the right. Rahm, I bet she goes down after this one. Actually hits a bullet up there. Hey, not that bad in the front bunker. That's a pretty good play right there. Even though it's going to slope downhill, he's got a chance. If he gets it up far enough in the bunker off the upslope, he's got a good chance to get it close with this third.
Last week in Akron, first round, the par 5 16th, 667 yards. Rahm made eagle. Here's the second for McIlroy. Just 234 to the hole.
Yeah, that's uphill. That looked like a 5-iron for McIlroy.
Ooh, and he comes up short too. So Rahm and McIlroy both in the bunker.
Yeah, the one that's up against the face there on the upslope has got the much easier shot. The one in the very back, which I believe is Rahm, sits on the downslope. That will make his third that much more difficult. And Fowler certainly has his hands full trying to just keep the ball on the green if he takes a direct line at the flag with this third.
Got the sun coming out this morning here in Charlotte.
It's a beautiful day, man. Where else would you want to be? Hollow Club, 99th PGA. I got Andrew Catalan right next to me.
I'm sure there's a few other people you'd rather have next to you. That's fine. I enjoy being next to you. Another full day of golf here in Charlotte. And with the PGA move to May in 2019, they've already hinted that this would be a prime spot to come back to for a future PGA championship.
Well, you know, going in May, it certainly opens up a different region of the country. It opens up down south now. And Southern Hills that we've seen in past years host a PGA.
This is what it will look like in terms of the majors in 2019. April, May, June, July. You'll have a major each month, and then the playoffs in August. And it seems like the feedback so far from the players has been very favorable. You know,
I think so too. And if you reverse it like it is right now, there's only really a week in between the Open Championship and the PGA. It's tough to readjust yourself. I like it when there's one each month.
And Jordan Spieth discussed the possibility, as you just said, as now the May PGA Championship opens up other areas of the country, like a PGA Championship in his home state of Texas. And Spieth was speculating on what that would feel like for him to have all the fans behind him for a major in Texas. It'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, it is Texas, so it'll be very special to him. He's a true blue Texan, and so that would be incredibly special for him. And now Fowler. Oh, and not. That's a chance you take trying to get it close. Take your medicine. Let's take one more look at it here off the downslope. Tries to get cute, landed just over the edge of the bunker, comes back. And right next to McIlroy. Probably sure it'll be Rahm next to play here. It might be close enough where McIlroy might actually have to stand on the ball of Jon Rahm. Just notice here how quiet the lower body stays when they hit this shot here. They'll dig in here. Weight will go on the left side. Weight will continue to stay on the left side, which creates a sharper angle of attack. Just keep it there, keep the face open, let the right hand go underneath.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding?
Chance there.
But you're right. You got to take your medicine.
You do.
You have to play it that way. Can't be too cute on this course.
Okay, now McIlroy. This ball is on the upslope. This is a good chance. I mean, actually, almost take a shot at this one here. Great sound. Pretty good break there.
Hits Rahm's ball.
Now, Rahm will have to move his ball back to the original position, and McIlroy's ball will stay in its position that it is right now. Rickie Fowler indicating to Rahm. No need to mark that ball, just moving it back, and then he'll spot his ball. Now the ball will be in play. Very surprised that McIlroy did not have Rahm mark after he hit his shot.
That was a break for McIlroy.
It certainly was. Now he's got it back uphill. He had the potential there. Not a very good bunker shot of catching that slope there and coming back down in that collection area. You know, talking about taking your medicine, Rahm did not do that, and Fowler certainly did, not taking a chance of getting at that flagstick. Now he's got a pretty quick birdie putt coming down the hill. You have to pay attention to this one. If it does go in, it'll be on the last couple rolls, in my opinion.
"24 feet for Fowler. With the sun shining here on the 15th green. This would get Rickie to 3 under par and just 2 shots back.
Can you bar enough break out to the left? Okay. And the second shot he had wasn't very easy coming out of that first cut down the left-hand side. Not much room to put it in there. We've only seen one driver from Fowler, and that would be right here at the par 5 15th.
I do want to mention yesterday, we went back and checked, Rory did make a putt of over 8 feet. It was on the 11th hole. He made it for par. So this putt, 8 feet 7 inches, 1 inch longer than the longest putt he made yesterday.
This would be the longest putt he's made.
Correct. And this would get him to even par for the championship.
And it's not like what we've already seen early on today. He's hit some really good putts that have not gone in. It's not like he's missing his spots and missing it, you know, wide. I think his speed is nice. As he said yesterday, if he could just see a couple go in.
That's a big one for him. A birdie for McIlroy at 15. McIlroy even par for the championship. Headed to the Green Mile.
Played that yesterday, even par, all pars at 16, 17, and 18 for McIlroy. Now Rahm for par. He'll have to just go just inside the mark of Rickie Fowler. Keep his speed up because it will turn back to the left. Powered it right through the break. One more look at it here. Solid contact, ball stays on the ground, rolling beautifully. Just a little bit too much speed there. And we talk about holding speed quite often, and you know, the right speed there, that ball would find the bottom just a little too aggressive. But that's the way he putts. You know, he's not a guy that putts the ball that what we call dead weight, where it just kind of finds its way over the front edge or the side edge.
Third bogey in his last 4 holes for Jon Rahm, who's going the wrong way here in the second round. Fowler taps in for par. Remains at 2 under and 3 shots behind Kevin Kisner. All right, so now the Green Mile, this incredibly difficult 3-hole closing stretch at Quail Hollow.
The Green Mile. 3 finishing holes as menacing and unforgiving as anything you'll find on a golf course. A caller to a Charlotte radio show compared the final stretch at Quail Hollow to Stephen King's novel of the same name.
Great look at it there. 511 yards. 303. Carries that little finger on the left-hand side. Trying to take it over that bunker. And he certainly has. What a drive by McIlroy. Wow. He's going to have no more than maybe 9-iron or wedge left in here. What a tee shot by McIlroy. That birdie. Back on the previous hole. Wow.
That's why I think, and we've talked about it this morning, Fowler's strategy early, we wondered if that could hold up for the weekend. When Rory is cranking out, they're measuring that at 357.
Just amazing.
And Fowler with driver here.
Trying to work it a bit back from left to right. He cannot take it over that bunker. Goes out to the left, still finds the fairway. That's going to be probably a good 60 to 70 yards behind the tee shot of McIlroy.
357. I'll say it again.
It's amazing. Now it turns this hole, he's done that, it turns it into a birdie opportunity, especially given the hole location there on the right-hand side today. He's in that left-hand, I mean on the right-hand side, he's in the left-hand side of the fairway. He's got a perfect angle. Now Rahm, see if he tries to mimic the line in which McIlroy took over that bunker. Just in the first cut, okay, but all 3 players down the left-hand side, which creates a much better angle with that whole location on the right-hand side, trying to take that green side bunker out of play. That's a mistake here that you'll have today. You'll look over there, the right-hand side. You must stay out of that bunker on that right. Not much green to work with.
Only 7 birdies at the 16th this week, but Rory McIlroy, after a 357-yard drive, has just 157 left to the hole.
First major as a professional is the amount of majors I've played in a row without missing any. Major number 17. It's the number I play, the green 17. When you had 4 or 5 close calls, you kind of think, have I missed my chances? If you keep putting yourself there, it will happen. Number 74, 2017, we were able to win, and you know, one of the best weeks of my life. Gonna give it a whack. It's a good one to finish with.
Omega, official patron of the PGA of America.
Seven yards left for their second here at 16. Oh, amazing there. But more importantly, both players, Rahm and Fowler, they're up the left-hand side. They have a great angle, but 156 yards left for McIlroy. Amazing. It turns in almost to a birdie look now.
Fowler is first, 221 away.
I would expect this ball. It does play downhill, playing more like 200 yards, 210 yards where you're trying to fly the ball. Your miss has got to be left here. I said get left. Easy. Okay. You don't want any part of that bunker on the right-hand side today. Don't want to short side yourself. You have to be concerned as a player, even though he's in the first, got a decent lie. There's still enough moisture on this grass where this ball can get away from you.
And we've seen Rahm miss left today with his approach shots. Let's see if he can dial this one in.
7-iron for Rahm, 211 yards.
Who's got another great look at birdie.
All set up by an incredible tee shot. Wow.
Rory McIlroy is dialed in right now in his second round. Coming off birdie on 15, has another great chance at 16.
First major as a professional.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the 99th PGA Championship. Alongside Billy Ray Brown, I'm Andrew Catalan. A live look at the 16th green. Jon Rahm, again, missing left with his approach. That's been a theme here this morning. This is his third shot.
Yeah, pretty simple pitch coming back up the hill, but something to pay attention to. 4 of the 6 approach shots for Rahm has missed the green to the left. Pretty average little pitch there from Rahm. It's certainly fun to watch Rory McIlroy in this feature group pairing, starting to build some momentum. Fantastic drive, got a great look for birdie here at 16. Next to play will be Fowler. I think Rahm was caught by a little bit of surprise, that ridge that runs through the center of the green here. Took that ball that far to the right. McIlroy would have a great read from the little pitch shot from Rahm. Now Fowler. Now picks up speed. Should start turning back to the right.
That was aggressive from Rickie, who has some work to do for par. Rickie Fowler won his first PGA Tour title here at Quail Hollow in 2012. Had a number, as we showed you earlier, very close calls at the majors, but yet to break through. Right now he trails Kevin Kisner by 3 shots.
We saw that graphic earlier about 2014. His worst finish in the 4 majors were tied for 5th. So what that tells you, he has the game to fit all types of venues. Now Rahm, this putt coming back up the hill. McIlroy again will have a little watchful eye on this putt.
Trying to avoid a 3rd consecutive bogey. And he does. Clutch putt for Jon Rahm.
Well, we saw back at 15 and hit it through the break there. That one was absolutely perfect holding speed there.
So he remains at 1 over par. And you're right, Billy Ray. Rory had a good look at that putt.
Yeah. He saw his pitch shot come back down the hill. He got a good look how it broke as it came back down there, did McIlroy. Now he got another opportunity to see the putt, even though they're coming from a different angle.
Everyone wants a view of our feature grouping right here. Rory McIlroy red hot. Fowler trying to stay 3 shots off the lead.
They might have a good seat, but we got the greatest seat in the house watching this feature group. Fowler, 10 feet 2 inches. Back up the hill. It's a tough read because you get outside the hole, tendency here the ball doesn't break, but if you have the correct speed, it will try to turn just back at the end. Great look at his hands. Watch how softly he grips the club. Not much pressure on that grip. Allows the putter head to release.
Nice putt.
Yeah, great save there by Fowler.
Par is good at the Green Mile, and that's exactly what Fowler and Rahm both do. But birdie would be even nicer, and McIlroy, after that monster drive, has 9 feet for birdie. This would be 2 in a row for Rory.
And this would be the longest putt he has made through 2 rounds to this point. Not much break at all. I got it outside the hole. Golden opportunity missed there.
He's had some chances.
He certainly has. If he finds his mark, watch out.
He's still looking at it. That was a golden opportunity. Also had a great look on 14.
Yeah, you've got to take advantage of these looks when he gets the opportunity.
All right, off to the 17th, which is playing as the easiest hole in the Green Mile, but the 3rd toughest hole on the golf course. Par 3 over the water, and today is playing 177 yards.
The 18th there, tough driving hole, and no matter where you position yourself in the fairway, the approach shot at 18 is so tough. And there's a good look at the green here at 17.
Best round on the course right now, 3 under par. Jason Duffner and Kevin Na, both 3 under.
What a comeback for Duffner after bogeying 5 of the first 6 holes yesterday. Hung tough. He's got it going today.
Kevin Kisner has just made another birdie. Now 2 under on his round through 6 holes and 6 under for the championship. Now a live look at the 17th teeing ground. McIlroy will be first to play.
Yesterday this hole played 226 yards to that hole location. Yesterday in the back portion of the green. Now totally different look. There's some runoff on the right. Hole location just 6 paces from the right hand side of the green today. And with the lack of wind, There is a little breeze from left to right. This is an 8-iron from McIlroy. See if it catches that collection area. It certainly does. With 8-iron in hand, you got to be taking dead aim at this flag today with the lack of wind. He knows it there.
Fowler is next, and Rickie has 7-iron.
Totally different golf swings, the approach to it. See McIlroy with the long backswing. Rickie a little bit quicker in the transition, takes the club to the outside, actually flattens the shaft out on the way down, shallows out. And the hands go completely to the left, trying to alleviate anything going down left, not letting the toe of the club come over. Let's take a look here. He's choked down here. Back, flattens the shaft out. Just tries to hold on to it. Little baby fade there. And a great result there. Well done.
Terrific shot from Fowler. And he has that for birdie at 17.
Where that hole sits, it's a little crown right there. And you got 3 or 4 paces on either side. Now Fowler, after he hit that tee shot, his putt's actually going to be coming back up the hill from where he's positioned.
And we've chronicled it. Rahm has missed left today with his irons. Let's see if he can dial one in here off the tee at 17. He's got an 8-iron.
Yeah, and I think given the hole location on the right-hand side of the green, I don't think he's, especially with an 8-iron, is too worried about missing way left here. You know, the only thing that he would have to be concerned with if he misses left, giving himself a lengthy putt. And if you pull it a little bit, the ball goes much further.
And similar to Rory's tee shot, this one rolls off into that little collection area.
That will not be the last shot down from that collection area on the right-hand side here at 17.
And we're seeing some frustration from Jon Rahm. He's 2 over on his round today.
It's a small window, as I said. This whole location sits on a little crown. And it's just a really tight area to try to fit in the tee shot here at 177 yards.
But Fowler will have a good look at birdie coming up. Kevin Kisner, the leader, by 2. Current featured grouping of McIlroy, Rahm, and Fowler. They're on the second hole of the Green Mile, the par 3 17th. And Rory with his second, and he's going with putter.
Well, issue here, into the grain coming back up the hill. Well judged. That ball ran pretty flat. Didn't bounce much at all. Good choice there by McIlroy. It's a tough pitch going back into the grain. That it's an area of the green that runs away from the player. So any pitch shot, if you don't have a perfect lie, choose putter. That's going to be the safe play there.
Rahm will do the same thing as putter as he gets set to hit his second here at 17. Great look from behind.
Let's pay attention to the bounce here. You see the darker grass going back in the grain. That stayed pretty level also. Well, he's got that one
trying to slow it down.
There's that crown we talk about where that hole's at. I mean, there's only 3 or 4 paces either to the right and to the left where it sits on a little ridge. Rahm has not lost his turn.
Well, he made a nice par save a moment ago on 16. Looking to do it again here at 17. He cannot. So if he makes that putt for bogey, Rahm will go to 3 over on his round this morning. And now +2 for the championship. He said yesterday it was the most fun he had had in a major. He's not having a lot of fun today.
Just not dialed in with his approach shots, and it's well documented. He's missed a few to the left, now one to the right here, and walks off with bogey at the par 3 17th. Now Fowler putting back up the slope, well positioned with his tee shot, 177 yards today.
14 feet for birdie for Fowler.
And to get within 3.
Drops it in. A birdie for Fowler.
That was all set up by a great tee shot there.
Rickie Fowler takes it to 3 under and 3 off the lead held by Kisner.
Even though that putt was back up the hill, you saw the speed of the greens. It started to inch out.
McIlroy finishes off his par at 17. And Rory remains even for the championship. This grouping began at 8:25 this morning on the 10th tee. So this is their 9th hole of the day, the par 4 18th.
Certainly a demanding tee shot with the creek down the left-hand side, 496 yards. Definitely those bunkers come into play. 296 yards to that bunker on the right-hand side. Second shot plays slightly back up the hill to the hole location in the back right today, which really takes the water out of play. But again, just 6 paces right of this flag brings that bunker into play. You find that bunker, it's downhill, down grain with that bunker shot, tough to get it close. Ideally, you like it just left of the hole over that ridge, hole location just 6 paces over that ridge that it runs in that back third of the green. 2 ridges here at 18, one in the front section and one in the back section. Some ground here, it's on the left-hand side. The first thing you look at is that creek up the left-hand side. It's right in the player's view. You can see the bunker out to the right. That's your guide where you want to go. But your initial look is you see the creek down the left-hand side. You see so many players miss right here trying to avoid that creek. You see the team ground there just to the left, and you have to cross that creek. Going with driver.
Only Rickie knows this, but do you think that he has adjusted his strategy, or this was all part of his game plan going in? Because this is the type of hole that earlier in his round he probably would not have hit driver.
I think that the length of the hole sets up. I have not seen many players ever hit iron off this tee, to be honest with you. I think you got to go ahead and force the issue here. And that's what's the difficulty about 18. It forces your hand. Well, that's long again up the left-hand side. What a great angle from McIlroy. That's absolutely bombed. Carries it 304 yards with some run out.
The driver has not been a problem for Rory McIlroy.
You know,
another big one.
In recent weeks, it has been his issue. It's been his Achilles heel. But now he's driving the ball beautifully.
And Jon Rahm trying to get back on track. More frustration for Rahm as this one is left. And we know there's water down the 18th here at Quail Hollow.
Getting a bit impatient is Rahm right now. Current cut line right now, it started at 2 over par at the start of the day. Now it's gone to 3. By the day's end, I think it's going to be 4 or 5 would be the cut line day if we still keep the current conditions.
And Jon Rahm at 2 over par for the championship and in trouble here at the
ball last entered the hazard. 2 club lengths from that position where it last crossed, and be able to drop in the fairway there. Now Fowler from 201 yards. Ball just above his feet. Coming in from 201 yards. If he carries that ridge, it's going to be tough to keep it on the green. It's got to be looking a bit left here. Certainly so. As it hold the green, carries the ridge. Does well done there, carries it up on the proper level, able to hold the green. Be a quick putt coming back down the hill from left to right, but a good shot, safe shot there by Fowler.
That was a 5-iron for Rickie. Fowler is 3 shots off the lead. Now Rahm, who took a drop, so this is his 3rd shot.
Big high draw in there. Starts it right. Is it coming back enough? Certainly is. Carries it. Wow.
He really needed that too.
He has a chance now to salvage par after a tee shot. Finds a hazard down the left-hand side.
McIlroy with a good angle here for his 2nd.
Well, just like back at 16, got a short iron in his hand. A totally different mindset. This one going to the left there. Really steep at contact. Not a very good shot at all there by McIlroy. Not taking advantage of that drive. That's a missed opportunity there. Missed the short birdie putt back at 16. Got it up and down from right of the green at 17.
It feels like Rory is playing a lot better than 1 under through 8 holes.
He's had his chances, that's for sure. What we're seeing from McIlroy right now is McIlroy not only combining the length and accuracy off the tee, but we've seen him hit some quality approach shots. That one there, not the case though. He's in that space right now to where, you know, he's got some chances and hadn't taken advantage. As long as he doesn't get impatient and continues just to plod along and not try to force the issue, I think he'll be okay. But I think the key though to that is forcing the issue. If he does and tries to, he's going to be from the fairway.
Not a seat to be had behind the 18th green, a popular spot for these great golf fans in Charlotte. Quail Hollow will host the President's Cup in 2021. And as we discussed earlier, the PGA of America has indicated this will be a likely destination for a future PGA championship.
Certainly so. It's been well received from Charlotte fans. And look at the great crowds there behind the green here at 18. Sold out.
Club was founded in 1960, originally designed by George Cobb, later modified by Arnold Palmer in 1986, and then, as we've discussed throughout the week, modified and redesigned by Tom Fazio multiple times, most recently last year, where the most significant changes occurred.
And they did it in an 89-day span, and it looks like it just has been here for a long time. Wonderful job. McIlroy is for birdie. This ball starts swinging back to the right, it'll pick up some speed also. Now it starts to work its way back down the hill. Still a bit of work left. I think if he's going to be a player by the end of this week, McIlroy is going to have to start taking advantage. If he continues to hit the tee shots long and straight and have short irons at a lot of these holes where players are coming in at 190, 200 yards, I think if he's going to be in contention here, he's going to start having to take advantage of that. He cannot continue to do what he's doing right now and just, you know, being satisfied with pars. That's fine if that's his game plan, laying back like Fowler has throughout the day and just kind of plotting himself around. McIlroy has the type of game that can go on a run here, but he's going to definitely have to start taking advantage of these tee shots. Fowler now, good read from the putt of McIlroy. I thought that ball would start turning back to the right. This one, not as much break as you would expect. Content with that will be Fowler. Anytime you make 4 at 18.
He's really played a controlled 9 holes. Has not run himself into much danger. It's been very calculated. Did make the 1 bogey back at 12, but birdies at 14 and 17 for Fowler, and he's 1 under through his first 9 holes today. Now Rahm stuffed his 3rd shot to within 8 feet. And that's a heck of a par for Jon Rahm.
And that keeps him 1 shot under the current cut line at +3. Now he makes his way to the front side. That first hole there is absolutely brutal today, measuring 504 yards. Yesterday was 527, today 504 of par 4 that actually plays back down the hill with the 2nd shot. So it doesn't get any easier as they make the turn over to the front side.
And McIlroy for his par.
Pretty quick play there.
1 under through 9 holes for McIlroy, and even par for the championship.
McIlroy, in my opinion, left a lot out there on his front 9 today. This grouping started its day on the 10th.
Let's see what our feature grouping can do with 9 holes left to go in the 2nd round. Your 2nd round leader continues to be Kevin Kisner here at Quail Hollow.
First main.
You know, that's
I'm gassed, man. Joe said he heard from someone that there's 155 between 18 and here. Feels like home. I am gassed.
Walking back up the hill.
He was tired. He needed to stop and take a break.
I'm gassed.
By the way, that was a great little transition for us, as Jordan Spieth will be a part of our featured group coverage later today when this current featured grouping finishes.
I'm not sure Spieth would have stopped. Well, he probably would have stopped and talked to Rickie. They're good friends. Maybe a little breather as they make their way over to the first.
Hey, it's hot and humid here. Everyone needs a break from time to time.
Man, these are athletes. Are you kidding me?
How about Rory McIlroy so far today, averaging 312 off the tee, including 357 on the 16th hole.
That all sounds fine and dandy, but he's not taking advantage of these short irons.
I completely agree.
Yeah, something's got to change here. Maybe spend a little bit more time working on those 8-9 pitching wedge shots.
You said something during our last commercial break off air to me. It'll be really interesting to see if McIlroy can remain patient here on his final 9 holes today.
Especially if he starts putting the ball, you know, just in the rough. That might force his hand to be patient, but we'll see. Now, Fowler, those bunkers down the left-hand side, 274 to that first bunker on the left. Ideal shot is from left to right here. Heavy rough up the right-hand side. And we've seen some terrible lies here. Fowler's lost it to the right.
That's where it's headed.
And see ya right down that last top. It goes straight to the bottom of that Bermuda rough that's capped off at 2.5 inches.
I walked the course on Wednesday, spent a lot of time right in that area, and that is some bad stuff down the first hole on the right-hand side.
Well, the hole location day on that front left portion, I think is one you can take advantage of. Let's see if McIlroy continues to combine length with accuracy here.
He's going to power this right over everything. Wow.
318-yard carry.
And that's his look for his second shot. Another monster drive from Rory McIlroy.
Well, it's up to him now. We'll see how he plays that short iron into there. It'll be no more than a wedge.
Let's see if Rahm can use some of that momentum from saving par on 18. Carry it over here to the second 9.
Well, left has been his Achilles heel throughout the day, not only with his approaches, but also with his driver.
That one's leaking right.
Guarding against going to the left, and man, that long carry, 305 yards, find the right-hand side of the fairway. And what an angle Rahm has now with that front left toe location.
You're watching Feature Group 2. We're live at the 99th PGA Championship.
First major.
A lot of concerns about the weather this week, specifically Friday, today, and there is a chance of isolated thunderstorms later in the afternoon. But right now, these are great scoring conditions.
Certainly so. We thought yesterday we might see some wind and some rain, but yesterday it was absolutely perfect. This morning, as we started off, there's a great look. Thank you guys. The light breeze, sunshine. It was. You couldn't picture from a player standpoint better scoring conditions that we have right now.
Look at that. You can't see his shoes.
No, you can't. No. It just shows
That's all he could do.
That's all he can do. Just keep it short there and might chase it up. All right, very well done there by Fowler. And he doesn't have the type of swing does Fowler. He'll actually probably putt that from there. He comes in very shallow with his approach shots. He kind of lays it off a little bit on the way down. The ideal swing is to come in almost on top of the ball with a little sharper angle of attack, so you can actually try to catch the ball first as much as you can, trying to alleviate as much grass getting caught between the club face and the ball.
That worked out really well for Fowler. Could have been a lot worse. Now here's McIlroy. 1 under today.
162 yards back downhill. That was no more than a 9-iron, and it just amazing to miss right there. Now, just a poor effort there from Rory, in my opinion. Just needs to get these scoring clubs dialed in. He knows it. He didn't want to miss short left and short-sided himself there. He was trying to bring it from right to left, but not a good shot. But a perfect angle for Jon Rahm. That was a 9-iron there for Rahm.
They're going to work away.
Yeah, it just stays on that. There's a little back stop there. He had to get over that false front there.
Well, we said a good shot. Obviously, he'd like to be closer, but we've seen so many of his approach shots miss left today. That one at least was at the flagstick, a little bit long, but at the same time, some positive momentum maybe for Rahm, especially after the par save at 18.
Yep.
This was one of the big changes when Tom Fazio came in last year and renovated Quail Hollow. His first hole, now a par 4, long dog leg. He took out the old second hole and made this a much longer start. It used to be, you know, a nice way to ease into your round, the first hole here. Not an easy birdie. don't get me wrong, but this is now a challenge right out of the gate.
Well, you talk about, you know, scores reference from amount under par. Usually at that par 5, you're going to birdie out of four days, more than likely 3 of the 4 days. And now, given the length of the hole and the severity of the green, 4 is a great score. McIlroy, as he comes out of the bunker on the right, I was talking about it wouldn't be a bad miss for Rickie in that greenside bunker right. It's a pitch shot that comes back down the hill. He's going to go up there and have Rahm just in his peripheral vision mark his ball up there on the green.
And one more note on those changes. It wasn't the PGA of America that requested the changes. It was Quail Hollow's initiative to revamp the course.
All he has to do is splash this out. It runs back down straight toward the hole. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's about a 6.
Remember his bunker shot at 15. He got a nice little break when it hit Rahm's ball. That wouldn't have been an 8 or 9 on the scale either.
No, not at all. And potentially ball going down the slope into the collection here back at 15, saved by the ball that was on the green from Rahm as it made contact with Rahm's third shot. Now Fowler, as we expected, putter coming back up the hill. There's a slope just to his left, a little brow that runs back down from the player will influence his putt as it will break right.
Fowler in opening round 69, 1 under so far today. We'll have that putt to remain 3 shots behind Kisner. But first, it's Jon Rahm.
Great save back at the 18th. This grouping's, that was the grouping's 9th hole after he hit this tee shot in the water. drop, played his third to 12 feet and made it to save par. Coming off this back ridge. Downhill initially, then slightly back up the hill the last quarter of the putt. Is it enough? Just the small slopes. It's funny, these hole locations today are just on top of these little, you don't want to call them ridges, just actually humps in the center of the green. That is wide enough to be able to house a hole location fairly.
Just one birdie today for Jon Rahm. Came on his very first hole, which was the 10th. What a start we had today with McIlroy riding the cart path to a par. McIlroy to save par. Up and down from the bunker, and he gets the job done. But as you said, he continues to have great opportunities off the tee, and again walking away with par.
He had to expend so much energy just to save par there.
Sure.
If you did that from the rough, or an errant tee shot, and you walk away, okay, I saved par. That is one he's having to work way too hard just to save par.
Now Fowler, this would be a nice par from that rough, and that's exactly what he does. Rickie Fowler remains 3 shots back.
Well, another well thought out shot that he coming up short there after driving the ball in the right hand rough. Didn't try to force the issue, made sure he missed it in the correct area short of the green, came up short and 2 putts from there.
And Rahm with par at the first. He remains +2. As we mentioned, right now the cut line hovering around +3. So for now, Rahm is inside the projected cut line.
And I would suspect by the end of the day that cut will move to 4 or 5 over par by the end of the day. Still have half the field to even tee off.
Well, let's take a look with our virtual eye technology of the second hole. Par 4, 451 yards.
Another tee shot that requires the shape of the shot from right to left. You have to avoid those trees down the left-hand side. You don't want to bite off too much of this dog leg and block yourself out for those trees down the left-hand side. The second shot plays back up the hill to a hole location right in between 2 ridges there. You see just over the edge of that ridge. So definitely telling me he's sticking to a game plan here. You see there, it's a great look here. You see the fairway as it slopes from left to right, goes against what the hole does. It bends from right to left. You got some room out to the right to go ahead and start this draw. Rickie looking out to the right here. See if he gets started enough far enough right. Well, it gets through. You can just see the top of the ball in the left-hand rough. It just depends on, one, how far that's up there, and also, secondly, if there's some overhanging branches up there.
No driver for Rory as well.
Yeah, You just want to get out there to the right-hand side. And his tee shot plays slightly back down the hill.
Plug.
Oof.
Where is it?
Straight down at the bottom.
That's what happens when you miss the fairway here at Quail Hollow.
Your miss, though, is right.
Sure.
You don't want to have anything to do with that left-hand side. Fowler, it's all going to, if he catches a break there. It's visually intimidating because you see the slope of the fairway from left to right, and the hole moves in the opposite direction. Not an easy tee shot. See if Rahm now, his transition from top of swing to his downswing is not too quick. As long as he times it up with his body rotation. A solid swing there. Looks like a good result also. You want to give yourself a little bit of time. You don't want to start the downswing before you finish your backswing, because that gets your hands involved in the swing. That was well timed up. His body rotation and his arm swing produces a good result.
Well, if you're just joining us, here's what you missed at 8:25 this morning. The first hole for Rory McIlroy, which was the 10th, and he had to play his third shot up a carpet, and somehow it skirts across the green and would stop just in that Bermuda rough with a nice slide, so he'd have to walk back all the way across the hole. And this is his fourth shot, and what a beauty it was.
Decent lie coming back down the slope. Easy par for McIlroy. He only had 276 yards for his second shot. Missed it right as it went down that cart path. Now this for par. No harm, no foul.
Routine par to begin the morning for Rory McIlroy as we take a look at his scorecard, and you see a lot of pars on there. He has missed a lot of opportunities today.
I look at the scorecard and see, okay, you see the lone birdie. Okay, that's great. All I see right now is missed opportunities through his front side.
We've seen some booming drives, not able to take advantage. We've seen him miss some makeable birdie putts, not able to drop it in. That seems to have been a theme here so far this week, his inability to sink some of these makeable birdie putts. So he's 1 under on the day as we take a look with our
Fowler has caught a breakdown.
course belongs to Kevin Na. He's 5 under through 6 holes. He started on the 10th.
Definitely taking advantage.
So there's a number out there. With these conditions, calm wind, overcast skies to begin the morning, but now the sun has come out.
Well, he makes his way to the Green Mile now.
Yes,
as he
we'll
goes
see
to
what
the
happens.
par 4 16th. Speaking of Kevin Na, now McIlroy. By the looks of things here, he's going to have to fight this one down, try to chase it up to the screen. But you have to be concerned. The entry side of this green, there's a huge collection area on the right-hand side. I think if you're going to miss here, it's got to be just a bit left. If you get up to the edge of the green and it falls off to the right down that collection area, it is almost a certain bogey, in my opinion, if it gets down in that collection area trying to get it up and down.
Here's Kevin Na's scorecard. Not a bad start. 5 birdies in 6 holes. Birdie at 13. It's quite a little round he's putting together so far. Problem with Na is that he began the day 8 over par. All right, McIlroy, second shot at the second.
Watch how low his stands stay through impact there. Making sure swinging left there where the toe of the club doesn't flip over. And there's that collection area you have to stay away from right there. And now You were certainly busy there. Well, he gets into the first cut, maybe give him a little bit more cushion to try to elevate the ball. Could help him quite a bit, but that was a terrible angle, and I still think your miss has got to be left here. I think that's a mistake there by McIlroy.
136 front. I think he hit a big wedge, man, right now. I really do. On the range when you're hitting that wedge. You like that? I do, yeah. Yeah. I should you go and hammer that thing just left of it. Worst case, it's just short of it.
Adam Hayes, his caddy, taking charge right now here. Rahm had 9-iron in his hand, and his caddy talked him off that club. Tendency here, though, if he's trying to hit a hard wedge back up the hill, you tend to pull it. That's one of the shots that's become an issue for him today.
156 to the hole for Rahm.
Got absolutely torched that. Good club.
Well played. There's Adam Hayes, Rahm's caddy. And a birdie opportunity coming up for Jon Rahm. Now Fowler caught a bit of a break after his tee shot hit the tree. Came down in a spot that'll give him a look here to the green.
Yeah, he's got a lofted club. He's going to try to bring this ball in. He got a good break, went past the trees on the left-hand side, assuring himself that's where the miss is right there. Very, very well done out of the rough. Well thought out. Didn't want any part of that collection area that McIlroy would be playing his third from.
Fowler and Rahm will have birdie putts coming up here at the second hole. You're watching live coverage of the 99th PGA Championship.
First major as a professional.
Pretty special shot that he played there from 148 yards out of a nasty lie on the left-hand side and missed it. And if he was going to make the miss, it was going to be left. It wasn't going to, as we said before, we went to break. Didn't want any part of that collection area on the right-hand side. Now, an opportunity. Putt that doesn't have a lot of break. It's got some speed, but very makeable. Certainly hadn't seen a lot of putts hold from long distance throughout the week.
This would move Fowler into a tie for second.
All right. After that tee shot, all you're trying to do is make four. You missed the fairway. And that's what I love about golf courses. It forces the player to put the ball in the fairway first and foremost. Just don't bomb it down there. We've seen McIlroy unable to take advantage of some booming tee shots in the fairway, but if you miss the fairway, take your medicine. Don't make worse than bogey, and move on. And Fowler definitely has a game plan that's working well up to this point. Timely fashion when he hits driver. A lot of conservative plays now. Rahm. It's from a pitching wedge he had from 156 yards back up the hill, just over a little slope. It should go back to the right at the end.
So par for Rahm. He's now parred 3 straight holes, which seemed like his round was getting away from him a little bit. We saw some frustration, banging his driver on the ground.
Well, when he bogeyed, 14 and 15, holes that that are very gettable by the rest of the field, gave up a number of shots to the field, and now he's kind of settled down somewhat.
So McIlroy has just inside 9 feet to save par.
Didn't get as much of the read that he probably thought he would from the putt from Fowler.
Rory has not made a bogey today. Until now. So Rory McIlroy back to +1 for the championship, a bogey here on the second hole.
He's even par for the day. And if you watch the way